Welcome to the Mental Health Matchmaker podcast. My name is Jess, and today I'm interviewing John, a trained and licensed therapist who is an incredibly passionate and excited individual. We talk about guilt, shame, self-empowerment, and his love for animals. John also supports clients with anxiety, depression, relationship issues, trauma, and so much more. Let's get into my conversation with John. Well, I would love to start a little bit with chatting about why you became a therapist. I know you said it's like kind of been something just instinctual for you, but I'd love if you expanded on that a little bit.
I know the classic thing is always like, oh, I like to help people, but I always felt that this was my life purpose. Like I've always felt driven to this particular job. I know that there's a lot of challenges in the world right now, to put it mildly. And I sort of looked around and I got frustrated, I got upset, and even angry at times about the state of the world. And I didn't want people to suffer. I didn't want people to hurt. So I decided to do something about it. I decided that I wanted to be part of the solution and that I would go to school, I would get trained, and then I would get out there and I would try to make the world just a little bit of a better place in whatever capacity that I could. And I am so happy in this role. I know I have a lot of clients like, oh, you're always so, perky or, enthusiastic. And it's like, I freaking love this job. I truly feel called to this as my life calling, my passion. And I am so happy to be doing this day in and day out.
That makes me so happy to hear that. And your passion is literally contagious. I feel like it's so good. I love that. And I appreciate you sharing that, John, because you can just, it's infectious, the energy you have and the way I'm sure you show up in sessions because you feel like that's your life passion and your life's mission. I mean, it's amazing. And you have a very diverse client base. I'd love for you to get into that a little bit. Like, you don't feel like, you have areas of focus, sure, but you're really open to seeing anyone and any issue. Why is that?
Oh, heck yeah. So I actually started my career work in community mental health agency.
Okay.
So not-for-profits. And in those kind of situations, you sort of get a very, very wide and broad range of clients, many complex cases as well. And I had the opportunity to work with just so many different things and learn that actually I'm quite comfortable working with a lot of things. I learned how to handle and work and help clients improve their lives in a lot of different things. And it quickly became a case where I just became very comfortable. And because of the nature of that work, there's a lot of walk-in, there's a lot of people, very significant challenges in those kind of areas that I just kind of got used to a lot of like major stuff getting thrown at me. So now it's like, you can throw whatever you want at me. This is just like a normal Tuesday for me. I'm not very shocked very easily. It's hard to throw me off my game. So it's like, heck yeah, whatever you got, I'm willing to work with you because I'm just excited to help see you, the client, improve your life however way that I can serve you.
Amazing. Yeah. And that's great because you're like, let's just dive in. Whatever it is, we're not here to feel weird about it. You're not here to judge. How does shame and guilt show up, though? Because seeing such a wide range of things, I'm sure that's something that really comes into play.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I find that shame and guilt often comes into play via it really controls us. And we don't always realize that it's controlling us. It's like, oh, I'm going to make decisions or I'm going to base, how I do things or how I say things on, am I going to feel guilty or am I going to be shameful of this? So like, here's like a very low level common example. I'm super overbooked. I'm super burnt out. I'm tired. Someone needs, I need your help. Absolutely, because I feel guilty if I don't help my friend or my family member, but it's coming at a great cost to the individual. Or they say no, which is good and healthy, and then it actually has an impact on them. And, I'm this terrible person, and I feel awful. And we get an opportunity to sort of explore, like, is this something that I should feel guilty about? What is best for you? How do we make yourself a priority?
Right.
Because when you're feeling healthy and strong, that allows you to be the best, partner, best parent, best friend, best employer, whatever. And what I find is as people work through these things, it's like, being handcuffed or shackled and they get broken. And it's this sense of freedom.
Yeah.
I can do what I want to do. I can express how I want to express. And it's just so liberating for the client. And from my perspective, where I get to watch it, it is like super exciting to see that. I'm like, oh yeah, break those chains.
Yeah, I love that. It's like you see people finally have this like weight lifted off of them, I feel like.
Heck yeah.
How does that make you feel? How does that just impact even your life?
So you've probably noticed I tend to be a little more energetic, enthusiastic.
Yeah.
If I may be polite.
I love it.
So I love celebrating with clients. You know, clients come in and, okay, this is something very challenging coming up this week. And I just, generally speaking, get pumped up when I hear about client success. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's awesome. How did you do it? Tell me the $1 million question. How are you able to be successful? How can we replicate this success? You know, that was really hard and you knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I love when I clients say like, oh, you're like a cheerleader, or like, you know, you really gassed me up or whatever. It's like, I'm just super excited to celebrate with you. I, like, this is just me generally speaking now. Like, I just love that personally.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. Like, I get my car at the end of the day and I go home and I'm like, oh yeah, that client did really good. Or I'm so happy that went well for them. It's like, frig yeah.
Yeah. That's the best. And I just feel like so much in our own day-to-day lives, we might not experience that. We might be our harshest critic. We might not, you know, have someone cheering us on, and to be able to walk into this room and feel like you are just genuinely rooting for each and every one of your clients, that's so cool.
And we do tend to be our own harshest critic. One of my many sayings or isms that I like to have is I talk a lot about being kind and gentle to ourselves. And I think that, you know, there could be a lot of improved capacity out there for everybody to, you know, it's life, it's hard, things are tough out there.
For sure.
We don't need to kick a person down. Let's be kind and gentle to ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, that's so real. And I even want to circle back to guilt, because tell me how and why that's such a motivator for us, or a decision maker even.
So a lot of times guilt comes after the fact too.
Yeah.
So it's like I made a decision or I did something and I feel really guilty about it. And unlike, you know, shame, which can sometimes motivate certain actions, guilt tends to be a little bit more of a withdrawing. I don't want to be around people. Like, I feel bad about myself. I feel guilty. If I feel like maybe I hurt somebody or said something that I didn't want to say, I want to sort of distance myself. And it can really start to isolate people, both from themselves, from others. And it's, you know, really getting in there and be like, okay, what do I feel guilty about? Is this something that I should feel guilty about? Now, there's other cases where maybe some of those senses of feelings of guilt may be appropriate. Now, I use a completely random example, not related to anything. Like, let's say I tell my mom, like, you're a terrible, horrible garbage person. And then I feel guilty after that.
Yeah.
Okay, rightfully so. But is there other things that I can do? Like, okay, I screwed up. Do I need to beat myself up? No, I can be kind of gentle. Can I hold myself accountable for my behavior? Yes, let's not do that again. Can I apologize to my mom? Can I make things right? And then can there be steps to take that I can make sure that maybe I don't end up in those kind of situations again? So even in situations where maybe the guilt might be, you know, warranted in some cases, there's still ways to be kind of gentle to ourselves, not isolate ourselves, and still move forward in the best healthy way possible for the client.
And that's such a difference. And that's something I think is hard to do on your own.
Oh, there's the understatement of the century.
Please tell me, expand on that.
Because it's so isolating, you know, why would I? You know, we get in this sort of almost this negative cycle where it's like, well, I'm a bad person because I did this. So then, you know, I'm going to beat myself up, or then I'm going to do this. Some people may even start to lead to self-destructive behaviors as because of it, because it starts to eat them alive. Like, I'm a bad person, so I'm going to go take dangerous risk, or I don't want to feel those feelings anymore. So maybe I'll use alcohol or substances, gambling or other stuff in order to sort of, at the end of the day, not feel that pain.
Right.
But unfortunately, those unhealthy coping mechanisms can actually create more pain in our lives.
And then we get harder on ourselves, and that's when things go bad. Do you feel like people have a moment where they decide, okay, I'm going to seek help? Is there a theme even among clients that you've heard of, like, why now? Why did people decide to choose therapy now in their life?
It's actually a really good question. I think that there's no like real major present theme. I think it's a very highly individual and personalized journey for when a person realizes that, hey, you know what, I want to kind of change how things are. I want to feel better. I don't want to do the things that I used to do. And they come to that moment. Now, one of the things that I have noticed is the clients that have the most success are clients that are truly motivated on their own. No outside factors involved. They and only they themselves have decided on their own that, hey, I'd like to do things differently. I'd like to feel better. And you know what? You deserve to feel better.
Yeah.
You deserve to be happy.
Yeah.
Let's fix some things. Let's work through some stuff. There's no shame. There's no judgment. There's no guilt here. Let's just get you feeling the best that you can be and be the best freaking version ever. Heck yeah.
And that takes time, and that takes the effort, and that takes, taking accountability for your own life. It makes me think about when we might have someone who encourages us to go to therapy. It's different when we show up out of our own choice.
Very different.
What does that make you think of when people may come in with that?
So going back to some of my starting when I was at the community mental health agency, I had worked with a lot of court mandated and child protective services mandated clients.
Okay.
And a lot of them didn't really want to be there, fair enough. And they really didn't do a lot of the work because frankly, they didn't want to be there. Versus other people, it's like, you know what, I've decided on my own to come in, do the hard work. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen growth for clients who don't want to be there and maybe they actually warm up to therapy after a while?
Yes. Okay. So this is actually very exciting. I love this. So they come in, I don't want to be here. This is not what I would. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you're stuck here with me, so let's make the most of it as best as we can.
Yeah.
I was just going to be sitting here staring at you for an hour. Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
But, you build that trust. You build that relationship. You show that you're not here to judge or, whatever. And, we start to build something. So try a few things out. Do an experiment this week. See what happens. And then it's like, oh, that kind of worked. Okay, so let's try something else. I feel a little bit better. And then it's like, I've had a bunch of wins. I've seen some positive changes. Maybe this does work. And then you see that switch flip. And then it's like, you know what? Okay, I'm invested now. Let's put some time and energy, effort in. Now they are truly motivated internally.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, their progress starts to rocket up because now they're putting the time and energy on their own into their own mental health journey.
Huh. I really appreciate the way you shared that because I never thought about it being just that flip that switches that after a certain point, it can shift for them and understand why they're here, or at least they want to be here. And that's when things skyrocket, just like you said. I'd love to talk about self-empowerment. I know that's something you feel very passionate about.
So a lot of people, whether it's a lack of confidence or whether it's they've been bullied or whether there's been a lot of abuse in their lives, people often feel that they lack power, control, or ability to do the things that they want to do. Everything from, going to the job that you want to do, to doing the fun activities that you want to do, to, leaving maybe an unhealthy relationship or seeking what you want to do. And, helping people to develop the confidence that they recognize that, no, I have these skills, I have these strengths, I can do these things. These things are okay to do. They are okay to want. And that if that is something that you want, then it's something that you deserve, and you 100% can work towards that. And then going back to that sense of liberation or that freedom about removing those barriers, many self-imposed, sometimes imposed by others, unfortunately.
Okay.
And then realizing that, oh my gosh, the world is my oyster. I can do what I want to do is so incredible. And oftentimes, their life trajectory might make a hard left at Albuquerque, but it's now in a direction that they want. And they feel, and often report that, I'm living my life for me. I'm making the decisions that's best for me. And it's like, heck friggin' yeah. Don't ever stop.
I love that. I love that so much. And I think when we're graduating high school or when we're just on our life trajectory, what happens? Do we just fall into what we think we're supposed to do?
Well, there is a lot of expectations.
Yeah.
I think we still have a lot of societal roles out here. You know, you go to school and you graduate, you get your job, you get married, you have your 2.3 kids, you buy a house. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I should be on the societal path following what society. And it's like, who cares what society thinks? Is society right? Not always. What is best for you? Because that's all I care about right now is you're the person in the room. We want to work on what's best for you. I don't really care what society thinks. Let's work on an individual plan to help you to achieve what you want, because that is the only thing that is important. F society, they're not always right.
Yes, agreed. What happens when someone is like, well, I don't feel confident enough to do that? That doesn't feel like something I'm even capable of.
You start small.
Yeah.
Rome was not built in a day. Some weeks, all we want to do is we put in one brick. That's it, really small. Because I can put in one brick, one small change. Next week, we do another brick, another small change, another small change, small change. Before you know it, you got yourself a really big foundation. And clients are now have actually had a lot of positive impact, a lot of positive change. They don't realize it because it's small.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I did this really well, and that wasn't as challenging. And I was able to do this. And it's like, well, how do you feel about maybe doing something a little bit bigger now? Because here's all the successes that you've had. We now have evidence, hard evidence. This isn't, emotions or whatever, that you can be successful because you were successful in X, Y, Z. So I think based on evidence, you can tackle this as well. And they often do, and they just slow and steady wins that race.
Yeah. That's a really good point. And it makes me think about what my therapist has told me for years is like, what does the evidence say? That's such a quote I've taken from her.
Yes.
Right? Whether I'm feeling really, really anxious and I think someone hates me and she's like, what does the evidence say?
Yes. Do I actually have evidence that they hate me, or is these are my emotions or my feelings that are acting up?
Yes, exactly. I have this fear that like my camera is just like will be recording while I'm doing a podcast episode. And I had a moment literally today where I was like, what's the evidence? Has that ever happened? Have you ever forgotten to press record?
Yep.
I literally have never done it.
Therefore, it would be reasonable to assume, based on the evidence, we probably hit record.
Yes, exactly. And so then even in terms of gaining confidence, I think having that real life experience of just slowly doing it, it's like a muscle, we're working it. Tell me about that moment if you see them, and I'm sure you do with clients, where they're able to reflect and look back and be like, John, like, look at how much I've grown in our work together.
Oh, yeah. I love stuff like that where, we start to do sort of an inventory or a reflection on, hey, do you remember what your goals were when we first came in? And where do you feel you're at that? And, this was changed, and then this was changed, and this was changed, and I'm doing better here. And it's like, my God, you have done so much friggin' work. And they take that moment, and then they look like, be like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh my God, yeah, look at all this change. And then look what's better in my life. And there's this and this is where that big celebration moment comes in. Because it's sort of a light bulb comes on and be like, holy moly, look at all the work that I've done. I'm absolutely knocking it out of the park. And it's like, yeah, we're knocking it out of the park. It's just now that we've got like a friggin' like mountain of this stuff now that you've been successful in.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting. It's like, you did it.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a crazy feeling. I've been in therapy for quite a few years and I'm starting to have that feeling where I'm like, oh, would have never expected 3-4 years ago when I started, I would be here. But to sit back and go, wow, I made those hard decisions for the better for me. It's a big deal.
Very big deal. Also, I think that sometimes small changes can be helpful. One of the other, many isms that I like to say is any change is good. Any progress is good progress. And sometimes it's just, the small things that can also be really impactful. I have difficulty leaving my house. I have a lot of social anxiety. It's very difficult for me. I went to the grocery store on my own this weekend with nobody.
Wow.
I did my grocery shopping. I came home and I was okay. I survived.
Yeah.
And that can be incredibly powerful and a big deal worthy of celebration.
I love that you shared that, and it's a great example. And it just shows how individual our own journeys are and how much we also just like need to celebrate those wins.
Yes! Oh my God.
You're like, you're reading my mind.
Recognize all your accomplishments. You're doing great things out there. Please highlight those.
And that helps build confidence to keep going.
It's a snowball, but this time we're snowballing in a positive direction.
Yes. I see it. And what else comes to mind? What else comes to mind when you think about self-empowerment? Is there anything else that you're really hoping, even if someone's listening to this episode and is feeling like they're in a place of like, oh my God, I don't even know if I'm going to get there. I don't know if I want to put that work into myself. What would you say?
I would say that you're worth investing in. You know, that you only get one life, and it's yours to use however you want to use it. And, you know, being able to sit back, you know, in the old folks' home and be like, you know what, I took the shot, I did what I wanted to do, and I'm so happy about it. Or if it's a case of I took the shot, I pursued some goals, wasn't for me, or I found out that it didn't quite work out, that's also okay. But the fact of the matter was, I still took my shot. I still did what was best for me, and I learned. I think there's so many things that hold us back. Again, going back to that freedom thing. And you want to live a life, you know, wondering what if, could have, should have. Is this all that's meant for me? Is there something better out there? Why not try?
Yeah.
And here's the other thing, you know, try it, you don't like it, stop, don't do it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
We can reverse course. But to at least invest in yourself, recognize that you deserve this, that you deserve to be whatever happy that you want, and go from there.
Yeah. And like, there is support out there and here, and it can make all the difference, I feel.
Nobody should have to go through really difficult times alone, which is another reason that sort of, when you asked me the first question about, you know, how did I get in this? Part of that anger and frustration with the way that the world was and is that I really didn't want people to struggle alone because, you know, for high school, college, there's a lot of people that I knew that struggled and they were very isolated. They didn't have the opportunity to have that support. And that is something that really upset me. And again, I wanted to do something about it. So, you know, if anybody's listening to this, anybody's out there, whether it's, you know, you come here, you go somewhere else, whether it's a friend or trusted person in your life, take one thing away from this is that you should never have to struggle alone. Get support, whatever that looks like, in healthy, appropriate ways. You deserve that compassion, you deserve that kindness, and you deserve to be helped.
Yes. Mic drop.
I think it's on a pull here. And I don't want to damage your equipment.
I don't want you to damage it either. I completely agree. And that is so real. And I just absolutely love when I just love our therapists. And when you take the opportunity to just speak that really important message and to know that. It even makes me think about, we're going to segue a little to our furry friends. Because, you know, we have our humans in our life. We have the people we turn to when we're going through hard times. We want to encourage people to continue to do that and seek help. And we also like have amazing animals. So I want to know more about your love for animals, how that even comes up in session with clients.
Okay, I freaking love animals. Growing up, I had always a zoo, guinea pigs, dogs, cats, rats. Okay, so I love the rats.
I love rats.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, oh, rats are, but no, they're really clean. They're really fun. They're really intelligent.
Okay.
So you can build like little obstacle courses for them. You can train them to ride on your shoulder, or if you got, you know, those pouches like on the sweatshirts, you can ride them around in there.
No way.
Throw them on the kitchen table. They'll steal like a shreddy from your bowl or whatever. They're great.
Yeah.
And so I always loved animals. I'm a huge fan of actually using individuals' pets in the therapy session as well. Whether it's part of that healthy self-care, you know, oh, I'm feeling depressed or anxious. Well, go spend some time with your pet. Or it's, you know, I want to get outside and go for, you know, a walk. It's a fresh air, help make myself feel better. But I lacked the motivation. Well, take your dog for a walk because you may not at this moment be motivated enough for yourself, but you'll be motivated enough for your dog.
Yeah.
I've even had clients come in and they don't have a lot of supports, to put it politely. And they'll be like, you know, the only reason I'm not ending my life is because of my pet. And you are correct. Who is going to look after that pet? They need you. So we're going to get you feeling the best that you can be. So you don't have to feel like you're in that kind of crisis.
Yeah.
And that pet will have you the rest of their lives.
Wow. Yeah. It's crazy the fact that, our pets can keep us going like that.
Very much.
And what an amazing connection point as well with clients. Obviously you have a deep love for pets, and just to be able to connect with them and relate to them and discuss that and be able to help people get to a point where it's like you want to be the best version of yourself at the very least for your pet, instead, because sometimes it's hard to just want that for ourselves. So
it's easy to get in those kind of dark places, and we sort of devalue ourselves. But we can externalize that a little bit through the use of our pets. It's like, okay, I can't recognize my value yet. Keyword yet.
Love it.
But I know that my pet recognizes that.
Yeah.
And that I'm the most important person in their life right now. So I need to still stick around for them. Heck yeah.
Absolutely. Have you had clients ever come in and be like, John, I'm thinking about getting a pet. I don't know if I'm ready for the responsibility. What would that conversation look like?
You know what's interesting? I've never had that, because I feel like people who really love animals either A, are already in therapy with animals, or they just be like, I'm going to go out and adopt a dog or a cat. And I'm like, oh, heck yeah, we got a dog, cat. What do you get?
Love it.
Tell me about it. Oh, or would you do some nice virtual sessions? Oh, it's nice to see the animals in the background. I love that.
Do you ever do virtual sessions at home, or are you always here?
I sometimes do virtual sessions at home as well.
Do clients ever see your cats?
Yes.
Yeah.
So sometimes one will pop up on the back of my chair.
Love it.
And then she'll just either keep on moving.
Yeah.
Or then you can see sometimes my cat tree in the background by the window.
Yeah.
And they love that cat tree. So you can often see them hanging out there. Although one of them, the little black cat, Spooky, so she's got half the face missing.
Right.
Is you got to watch her, because she likes to come up on the table. And she'll walk on the keyboard. So I'm trying to grab her and keep her
don't end the session. Don't end it.
This is work. I can't have you pressing buttons or whatever. You can sit on the lap if you're quiet.
Yeah.
She is HIPAA approved. She's very good about confidentiality.
Okay. That's awesome.
Otherwise, I gotta.
Yeah. Your pets aren't going to go tell anyone secrets. That's for sure.
It's very good.
I love that. And did you name that cat Spooky?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's such a cute name. I love that.
I love Halloween. So she's this black cat, so Spooky. And then her sister is this Siamese cat. So she needed a very regal name. So I decided to call her Cleopatra the Third.
Oh my God, that's so good. You got a whole little family going on with all the cats. I love it.
What's interesting about them is they were family even before they met me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They are sisters, or as I like to call them, the twins.
That's awesome. That's the best. Amazing. Well, I'm glad we went on that whole animal tangent, because that's a big part of your life and also a wonderful connection point with clients. Amazing. Well, John, you are available for in-person sessions in Mississauga, as well as virtually over the phone and video. And if you do virtual, you might see a cat once in a while. And you see individuals, couples, and families.
I do it all.
And you see such a diverse range of clients. So if people are interested, they can book a session with you. We'll have all the info in the show notes. And if they want to do a free consultation to get to know you a little bit better, but your energy's the best. Oh my gosh. I feel like talking to you is like a warm hug. My face is going to hurt from smiling when I'm leaving.
Well, a good problem to have.
Yes, 100%. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to join.
Oh, of course. This was so fun.
Heck yeah.